So here we go. The trailer for Parentsitting, the podcast. I think if you would have told me a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago that one day I'd be sitting here doing a podcast, I would probably say you are out of your mind. I'll give you a little background on me and then kind of explain why I decided to do this. First, I guess I should say I've no medical background, I have no science background. My background is a former college and pro football player. I spent 21 years as a sports television personality in some of our great cities like Boston, New York, and then I wrapped up my TV career after spending 8 years in Chicago. After that, I ventured into the business world a little bit and, kind of found myself here through some circumstances that I really, like a lot of us, probably didn't see coming. So, why am I here? A few years ago, I slowly realized that I was having to do more and more to help my parents. My parents live in the Midwest, I live out west, and maybe even a year after that, I realized there were some big issues going on with them almost every time I went back to visit, which was, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. It kind of started with simple things like issues with laundry or finding bills that weren't paid. I think anyone who has dealt with parents in cognitive decline, they understand what we've all experienced. I think everyone just kind of experiences things to different degrees and at different times. What I learned over the last several years, because I am still going through this, is that the emotional tolls are tremendous. Oftentimes, the financial issues can lead a family into ruin. And I don't think any of us are really truly equipped to process what it's like to literally keep your parents alive until you actually have to do it. And it becomes almost a daily part of your life. I think what really brought me here is literally the dozens of conversations I've had with people about their own experiences with their parents going through dementia or some type of cognitive decline. And I think it's been amazing to me because especially over the last year, how many people that I've met or already knew that have been going through this exact same thing. And I had no idea. I didn't know what was going on with them. And I think it's sometimes people don't really talk about it until maybe one person brings it up and you find that you have some kind of shared common thread, to talk about. I think a lot of the shared stories have helped me. And the reason I wanted to do parent sitting is because, knowing that I'm not alone in this process and moreover, the struggles and the emotional roller coaster that I've been on, you kind of realize that it's completely normal for anyone that's going through this. So I guess I'm here to not just share in real time what I'm currently experiencing today with my parents, but hopefully this will become a space for anyone dealing with aging parents to gather and realize that there is never really an easy path. There are no correct answers. And I would say from my personal experience that most of all, that the emotions, fear, anger, frustration, sadness are all simply part of the process. So on parent sitting, I will share stories of my experience. I want you to do the same. What were some of the early signs? I've got probably hundreds of them that I didn't even know I was seeing these things until, it was too late and, we had to make some decisions. But, there are a lot of early signs that many of us miss or dismiss, and how do we initially respond to taking care of our parents? I know for me, I probably, as a guy, didn't respond as well and didn't have the patience that I needed, primarily, as I said, because you just don't really understand what's going on. And then how do we deal with the emotional roller coaster from moving them out of the house to when the time comes that you realize you need outside help, and the worst scenario, when it's clear the end is near, which is probably where I'm at about this point. So, parent sitting is for all of us that never imagined we would be taking care of the people that once took care of us, and in essence, realizing those people in some ways no longer exist, even though they may be standing right in front of us.